Hello, good evening. Hello, Tamburi Monday says, hello, welcome to our new edition, another edition here in Freiburg. It's autumn already here. And so we have a very special guest today. We start with our rhythm training, with a warm up, with some ideas of Joannie Labelle. Hello. Hi, Joannie.
Hello, hi Murat. Nice to be here.
Welcome. Nice to
Thank you.
see you again. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Everything fine? Health? Everything?
Yeah, like we
Yeah.
say here in Germany, zum Glück, alles gut.
Zum Glück alles gut. Sehr gut.
Yes.
Yeah. So we are really very glad to have you here, an extraordinary percussionist. We will talk later a little bit more about your actual work. So you came from originally Canada, moved to Germany. Now you live in Hamburg, and so that's very good for, of course, for German musicians and
You're
for
very kind.
and but also I think for Europe. I think because Germany is one part, but living in Germany is you have more opportunities also in Europe.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I think as I said, we can talk later a little bit more. And I would like
pleasure.
to open our frame drum channel with your program.
Super. Okay, great. Thank you, Murat. It's a big pleasure to be here for you on the YouTube channel of Tamburi Mundi. I'm a multi-percussionist, as Murat said. I come from Canada and now I live in Germany. I'm a multi-percussionist, so I touched very different cultures, a lot of different hand percussions. And I thought today for the rhythm training, because Tamburi Mundi, I think we could explore something around Spain today. So for those of you who don't know, Spain has a super tradition of flamenco music where they use a lot of hand clapping that we call palmas. Palmas, so the inside of the hand. Actually, I'm a French Canadian, so sometimes some words in English I will be missing. So today I cover a bit with some Spanish. So we will use palmas, like in flamenco music. And in flamenco music, there is this style that is very, very rhythmically rich. It's called bulería. Probably you heard of it. They have this compass. They call it compass. It's like a clave. It's a rhythmical pattern, which really is the lower structure for all the music, which is played in the style bulería. So they have this compass in 12. So we're gonna get into that today together. And then when I was myself studying in Sevilla, in South Spain, I got very, very amazing exercises to play around the accents of this bulería. And I thought today we train it a little bit. It's a lot of training with the upbeats and to make a musical phrase actually with the upbeats. So first I take you into the bulería, which is in 12. And I don't know how good is your Spanish, but it's the rhythmic of this compass is said 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. It's a compass in 12 and it starts on the 12. So it's like 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. In Spanish, they say dos, un, dos, tres. So it's like if they would say, instead of saying 12, 1, they say 2, 1, okay? And very often they will start like a pickup on the 11, so you will hear 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. Okay? That's how I will tell it to you today. So if you go to Spain, you know how it works, what you're talking about. So just to start like this, I say 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. It's also good to try to say it in Spanish. It's almost an Indian conacol. So it starts on the 12, and then we have these accents, which makes it really, it's almost like a Cuban clave in 12. I will not talk too much about that, but there are these accents like in a clave, if you're more familiar with a clave pattern. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have everything, 12, 3, 7, 8, and 10. These are the accents of the Bulleria. It's the Bulleria Moderna, because you also had a Bulleria Antigua where the accents were 6 and 8. So in the style, you will sometimes also hear that. Today we work with the accents 7 and 8. We roll that a little bit together, okay? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, ti, 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 pa, pa, pa. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, pa, pa, pa. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, pa, tu, tu, pa, 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 tu, tu, pa, ti, 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 pa, pa, ti, pa. 1, 2, pa, pa, pa. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, so this is your compass. This is your compass de Bulleria Moderna. And then what you can do, so I did with the palmas. I will not spend too much time. Sadly, I cannot see you, but I just want to show you quickly, if you're not so familiar with the palmas, you have usually two styles. You have these palmas like this. You have these palmas like this. Yeah? We say sordas, which means that they are a bit more muted, sordas, yeah, and claras. They are more clear, they are more bright. So we will do sordas, and we will play the 12 golpes. Now I think it's Spanish. We will play the 8 strokes of the Bulleria and just accentuate the 12, the 3, the 7, and the 8. So, for example, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Pa, pa, pa. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2, pa, ti, ti, pa, pa, ti, pa, ti, pa, tu, 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 pa, tu, tu, pa, pa, ti, pa, ti, pa, tu, 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 pa. A little faster. Pa, pa, ti, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Pa, pa, ti, 2, 1, 2, 3. Pa, pa, ti, pa, ti, pa, ti, ti, pa, ti, ti, pa, pa. Claras. 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 2. Okay, so now you have your compás de Bulleria, sordas, claras, just playing the accent, playing every beat, accentuating the accent. That's good, we have that. Now I made a playback. What we will do, we will play with the strokes that are not played, so just after the accents of Bulleria, just before and after and before. So the game is to, if you play with someone else or if you play with a playback or whatever instruments you're playing, to always have in mind that a concept to play with rhythms is to always put an accent just after the pillars of your song, of your beat, okay? So I will play for you the playback I have here. Bring it a bit closer. Okay. So you hear this, right? So we have 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. We will place tu pas. We will place, let's say these are quarter notes. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will place the 8th note just after, okay? So I show you an example. 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I place my accents just after the 12, the 3, the 7, and the 8, and it makes a melody with the compass, okay? We try it. I will build it slowly with you, accent by accent. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. 7, 2. Again. Super. 10, 12. 2, 3. You could do the accents with the leg of the bulleria and the hands on the 8 notes. Okay, try that at home. Tu pa, 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 tu pa. Okay. Now we will do the same, but with the accents before the accents of the bulleria, okay? So check this out. Tu, 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 pa-in, 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 okay? So, 7, 8, 9, 10, un pa-dos, pa-in, 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 pa-in. I build it with you, slowly, okay? Ti, 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 pa 12. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, pa 2, pa 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 3, pa 7, 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 pa 2, pa 3, pa c'était... I cannot say it to you at the same time that I do it. We put all of them until the 10, okay? So before the 12, before the 3rd, before the 7th, before the 8th, okay? 7, 8, 9 y 10. Pa-i, 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 and pa-i, 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 and all of them, pa-i, 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 pa-im, 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 pa-im. Now with the foot, your foot at home, yeah? 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, pa-im, 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 pa-im. Oh, I reversed them. Let's try again. 2, 2, 2, pa-im, 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 yeah, pa-im, 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 2, 3, pa-im, 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 pa-2, 3, pa-im, 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 pa-2, pa-3, pa-im, 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 pa-2, pa-3, pa-im, 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 2, 3, pa-im, 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 pa-2, 3. Okay, super. Yeah, I cannot know if you feel like it. Actually, you can write to me in the chat how it's going, if everything is rolling well. So again, we placed the accent after the strong accents of the bulería. Now we put them before. Now we're going to do before and after. Okay, so it's almost all the upbeats, but not really, and it makes a really nice melody with the accents of the bulería. Okay, so for example, 2, 2, 2, 2, pa y pa. That's the first one. Ti, 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 pa y pa. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, pa y pa. 7, 8, 9, 10, pa y pa. 7, 8, 9, 10, pa y pa. 3, 7, 8, 9, 10, pa y pa, pa y pa. 7, 8, 9, 10, pa y pa, pa y pa. Tum, tum, tigirida, pa y pa, pa y pa. Tum, tum, tigirida, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Tum, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. 10, pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. 10, pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. 10, pa y pa. Pa y pa. Dum, dum, pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa. Pa y pa. Pa. How is it going? Yeah? Keeping the pace? We do it a tiny bit more. And then maybe we can also put the tempo a bit higher, which would make the feel even better, okay? So we do just a little bit more and then I push up the tempo a little bit, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Pa y pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa, pa y pa. Pa y pa y pa, pa y pa, pa. Okay, I push the tempo a little bit. And now I'm nice, I put a downbeat for us to have some kind of solidity. Okay. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 y 10. Yeah? A little bit more. Pa ipa, pa ipa ipa, pa ipa pa ipa, pa ipa, pa ipa ipa, pa ipa pa ipa, pa ipa, pa ipa ipa, pa ipa pa ipa, pa ipa, pa ipa ipa, pa ipa pa ipa. Okay, a little bit faster. Hope you're still okay with the compass. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Paipa, 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 paipa. Paipa. Dos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah? Okay. Let's try to go a little faster. Flamenco usually, bulería can be really fast. Huh? So. Dos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We can practice our basic. Yeah? Okay. We will do 4 times the palmas on the compass, 3rd time, and then the accents, also for 4 compass. Now we go. Last time. 2, 3. Last time. Achtung. Achtung. I'm speaking to you in German now. Too much multitasking. 3rd time. Okay, Achtung. Okay, we do this the last time. 3 and 4, and the accents for the last time. Yes, super. So now you have your palmas, so your compass, which you can feel strongly at the tempo. And then you also have your accents that you see, it's almost all the upbeats, right? I don't pretend to be a super amazing palmera, but I just want to tell you that usually this art of palmas, what I learned from my travels in Sevilla, in Spain, is that when you do not the accent, but the other golpes, the other strokes, you should try to be as even as possible. And the same when you do it with either with claras or with sordas, okay? So when we do, at first you try to have the subdivision, so not the accents as linear as possible, but then there are also variations in your volumes that you can do, which are really typical for different styles. So Bulleria has its way and tango will have its way too. And so it's just subtleties that you should be aware of. Always good to know how the tradition does it. Of course, then you're free. I think before I let you go, I hope your hands are warmed up. I would like to do that a little bit more at a higher tempo, because if you saw sometimes, or if you see in the future some flamenco, it can be really and very, very fast. So I just want for you to get a little taste of it when you have to play the upbeats at a super high tempo. So now we will leave the accents and we will just do the upbeats on the bulleria, okay? So, 2, 1, 2, 3. So, basic. Four times again, okay? Yeah? We'll try this again. Okay, upbeat. Yeah? The last time before I let you go. Achtung. Yeah, yes. Super. So I hope you had fun with the bulleria. Don't forget this concept of placing accents just after your strong pillars or just before. Can apply to any style, any clave, any beat you're playing with. And yeah, I hope you had fun with me. I look forward to see maybe some comments or anything. Hey Murat, did you do it with me? I couldn't see you.
Hi. Yes, I was here.
Are your hands warmed up?
Totally.
Yes. For the frame drum, it's great.
Yes. Yeah, I'm always surprised because, I mean, you already mentioned, first of all, thank you very much.
Big pleasure. Thank you.
So we clap another time. And so I'm always surprised. You mentioned you are a multi-percussionist. So this is really amazing that you are in so different worlds.
Yeah.
So also one world is flamenco. I don't know you so good. I mean, musically. So I know some videos and we also met. But it's really very nice how you combine
so
your rhythmical world with these traditions. And also flamenco is an amazing field, amazing world. And
totally.
yeah. And you mentioned that you had a teacher, right?
Yes, I had a couple of teachers actually. I was 2 times in Sevilla, 2 or 3 times. Now I'm not sure anymore. But yeah, I had a couple of teachers and I also joined some schools there. what really strongly helped me to get my luggage out there after this studying and stuff is I had a project in 2009 with a couple of friends, percussionists in Canada. And we created this group, we called it at the time, with all the respect we had and have for flamenco, we called it Duende Confusión, which are words, important words in, so it's a play of words, right? Confusión can mean with fusion, but it also can mean confused, confusion. So, and duende is a very important word in flamenco, which is really, the duende is the spirit when you, it's the thing which is bigger, the magic everywhere. Anyway, I don't want to pretend to be a master of flamenco, either of these terms, but yeah, in 2009, we were so in love with the culture, we decided to make a small project in Canada, and that's how I really got to play more flamenco than I probably would have played without this project. Yeah.
Yeah. But for example, in these exercises, what you showed us or what you shared with us, you also put some own ideas inside when you work on it, or so what was, let me say, the material that you learned, so that you give us from your teachers, and what is your own that you put inside, maybe to create something for more, I mean, to use the traditional flamenco music as an inspiration, and do something for non-flamenco musicians, let me say.
Yes.
To translate it in a different language or in a different music. So
yeah, I think that's the only thing which I can do. I must say, so these ideas, they are very typical for flamenco, but I want to give the credit to a teacher that I had once who was really a master of footwork and palmas together. These games that you can do, these rhythmical games. His nickname, I just sadly remember his nickname because we always called him like that. It was Gamba. So gamba, like the food, and an amazing percussionist in Sevilla. I also had Roque Torralva, who also taught me a lot, but a bit more on cajon. So I think the only thing which I can really do is really make it slow, make it explain what is the compass, what are really the accents, and then to train it slowly, and to also give you the idea that you can also apply these concepts which sometimes they seem really, oh, this is flamenco, it's foreign, it's different, but the concepts actually in it you can also apply to other music. If you think, oh, okay, they always are on the upbeat, but they surround the pillars of the bulería, why not do that with you play this beat in 10 on your rec, and so you have also this kind of clave, because you have these accents which are not covering all the subdivisions. And then you can think, okay, I will do like in flamenco. I will just surround with another stroke my accents that I'm already playing. Or when you're with another player, you can think, okay, while he's doing that as a solo, that's how I will start. Just play around his accents and before and after. And then, so I think because I touched many different styles, I can have this kind of distance to see how it can apply in some other styles too. But I don't want to give myself any credit for the idea of the training, really, because this comes from flamenco, really.
Yeah, but it's a great training. I mean, it's for timing, coordination, everything. And I think also if you increase the tempo, suddenly another feeling happens. No, it's not only the same thing faster, it's also inside you have another feeling, another music. And I think that was very good to see or to feel when you switch to the faster tempo.
Super, yeah.
Yeah, and So maybe you have you said you are multi-percussionist. So one is flamenco. Let me say that you studied. What else are your yes fields?
My
Let's say.
spheres, yeah, my fields. So I started more with Cuban music, so Cuban percussions, really. Congas are definitely one of my favorite instruments. Then I touched a little bit the percussions from Brazil, even though I was sadly never in Brazil. Again, some hand percussions, but also the samba percussions. And of course, West Africa has a big influence on me. I sadly never was in West Africa. That's always in my plans. But I had the chance to study with great masters in Canada. They were some traveling in Canada, but also I went in France to study with Aruna Dembele in the last years, who's a great djembefola. He was very generous to me. So yeah, Cuba, Brazil, Africa, Spain for the flamenco, and I also studied some years of Meredangam, Indian Meredangam, which is, for the people not knowing what it is, it's the ancestor of the tablas. So it's like if you take the tablas and put them side by side. And this was also very amazing. I also studied a little bit of tabla in India, but very shortly, and I'm not a tabla player yet at all. But yeah, I would say I also touched, a little bit, of course, of frame drums. And I had the chance to take recently the Glenn Velez workshop with you at your festival. That was super great. And I actually studied a bit of frame drum in Canada with students of Glenn. So Paul Picard is one of them. He's a great percussionist for Céline Dion. So Paul is the one really who started me on rec and a little bit on tar also. Yeah, I think that's I think I thought about everything and for inspiration. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And what I discovered also when I talked with you, also when I listened playing to you, is that you go really deep in this music and you take it, let me say, you seriously. You have a respect, and you is not just only trying out a little bit from this, from this, from this. You are really, let me say, a serious musician or serious percussionist. So this.
What?
Well, I mean, in
Yes.
I
No, I know
know.
what you mean. No. Yes, you're right.
Yes. No, you're really funny, but no, you are really working on it. You work a
You
lot.
think I'm not funny? No, I know what you mean.
Yes, and so I think that's very important now in these days, that you should take sometimes time to go deeper, to understand maybe things, and also say, okay, this is a limit, so this is something I will not reach, because if I want to go there, I need 2, 3, 4 years more. But to see also how huge all these traditions are, I think you can see it when you are inside. It's like you enter this room and wow, and I think if you yes, if you take your time, you also develop this respect to these cultures. And this is something that is also hearable, I think, when you do the music. It's, yes, you are very conscious about every sound and your compositions also. And also when you use your voice, I think that is your personal stamp or something like this. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so we have, before we watch your last work, we have a small video that we would like to present. Maybe you can just let us know your upcoming projects. So for us,
Yes.
next weeks, the months, or
Yes, yes, gladly. So I'm very lucky to be performing at the UK Drum Show in Liverpool. It's actually next weekend. So I played there with Ellen Maya, who is also a good percussionist from a very good percussionist from South Germany. And so I performed there next weekend. Then I have a couple of projects, but maybe what can interest you is I play in Austria at the end of April. There is this festival called Colors of Percussion. Very super interesting festival. It was my first time there, and I'm super happy. So this is end of May. And then I will be playing in June with the band. Is a very famous band in Germany, the No Angels. No Angels, yeah, super pop production. Super happy to be on board for the big show at Wuhlheide in Berlin. So it's gonna be, I think, a very, very cool evening, a lot of energy. So if you like pop music, you can check this out. And then I will be actually from end of July until end of September, 6 nights a week. So if you want to see me, I will be there 6 nights a week at the Hansa Theater in Hamburg, playing this show. It's a cabaret, circus, electronic music, lots of percussion. It's called Velvet Rewired, and I think it's gonna be it's funny, it's energetic. So if you come by Hamburg this summer, you can see me there definitely.
Okay, so I will try. I don't know
Yeah,
yet.
that would be amazing. Yeah, I will definitely invite you if you're in town.
Okay, great. Yes, so I think now we can have a look and a short look in your latest production. You want to say something about this piece?
Yeah, it's the video you will show. I self-produced for so it's very humble. A video I did at home in my studio for Pause Festival was collaboration between it was international students in France, if I remember correctly, and it was an initiative of management in India, women of music, a very cool organization who they put women in the front of the music scene. So I produced that for them, and it was during the pandemic. So it was very challenging, and of course every musician had to learn to do everything by themselves, the lighting, the mixing, the video, blah, blah, blah. So this is one of my attempts, and the song is The Corner. It's on my album, my first EP from my project Bea Box. So if you check my project, you will find the song The Corner, and it's Cuban inspired, and it talks about the will to power, so how to not feeling stuck in a corner and empowering ourselves. So I hope you will like it.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Thank you so much. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
so we have the whole video you can find also in the, we will put it in the chat so you can copy it. And so also
Great.
other videos you can find on your YouTube channel. Yes, Joannie, that was very short, but very nice.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thank you also for coming, and I'm sure we will see us again somewhere. I mean,
Definitely.
now that you are in Germany and not in Canada, so
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
Okay, so we say thank you and we say bye bye, Joannie.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Yes, now we continue a little bit with some ideas for you at home, for your work with frame drumming. Today I wanted to work a little bit on some ideas for warming up. So you, for sure, you have also some own practicing ideas to warm you up. So, I wanted to give you some, yes, some maybe new options. Maybe not. You can decide. So mainly when I come to my room. So here, this is my studio here, and I try to warm up my hands. Warm up means to yes, to stretch a little bit, and also with my wrist, because the wrist is one of the important parts when you play frame drums, or in general also music, and also our fingers. So I try to shake a little bit everything out. And so here the arm also, so if you have a tension, you can also have a little massage. And also another important part is here, connecting the shoulder here to the arm, to the body. And because here are several important muscles, and also for the blood here, and the blood should be uh, inside the hand, inside the fingers. So the best thing is to warm up the shoulders with rotations here. Yes, and you can do right and left. The other side can go up and down. Yes, no, not bad. In general, this is good. It's not only for music. You can do it at home when you are sitting in front of the computer or something. Or, so you can stand up, or you can sit and go around the room and turn around the shoulders. As I said, this is a very important part, and then we can stretch our body here, our breast, because also this is later when we play, the muscles, they need to be open here. Also, the first rhythmical exercise here. Yes, I use my fingers, then the finger here to open and close. And so you don't need any drum, you just have your body. And also it's important, one thing I forget to say, when you sit on the chair, try to sit in the front, right? So not in that position. Here in that position, okay. Yes. Okay, here we go. Ta, 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 ta. Takadimi, 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 ta. Takadimi, 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 ta. Ta. Takadimi, 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 ta. Takadimi, 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 ta. Ta. Try to breathe slowly. And right, and then stop, and then and stop, and in, and stop, and in. Yeah, so and then you can again your shoulders. And now one thing that I like a lot is stretching, right? Stretch to the behind here. See, arm. And what I do is all straight here. You can see my hands. Okay, so you see that hand. So I go up with that hand. Okay, take care that you are stretched here on both sides. And you can feel the warm stretching inside of the fingers, right? And here in your arm gets warm. And you can breathe out and inside. You can turn a little bit your arms, not too much, a little bit. Small circles. And now the fingers go down. And one more time. Up. You can feel the stretched fingers inside. And a little bit turning here. Okay. So you can, of course, you can do it more often if you want. So I just make it shorter a little bit. Then also your wrist is important, as I said. I take my wrist and I try to stretch here also. What I don't do is pressing here. Might be dangerous for some of you, but it depends. Some like it also. So I just do it in that way. I think it's still warm enough here, and yeah. And also here in the front, you can stretch the fingers you have inside that part. Okay. Also, this is something you can do several times. Yeah, and what I like also is to use a gattam. Maybe if you have a gattam or something that is similar, you can use a hang also, a hang drum. So I warm up my fingers, these 3 fingers regularly. Right, while I play, I take care that my shoulders don't go in that way. Right, so my the fingers are independent. So I'm focusing more on my shoulders, right, and just take care of that, right. Yes, sometimes I use also my legs, right? It's the same idea. So 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2. And one thing that I would like to explain also is not only the movement, right? So after the stroke, I'm pressing a little bit my finger on the drum so that the fingers get warmer, the muscles get warmer. Here you can feel it, right? So when I open it here, right? So here the fingers are pressed. It's not only touching the drum, right? And in that way, I also try to make doublings. And you can make the 16th longer also. Okay, so maybe your fingers are already warm now. So it's about warm up is for me to warm up the muscles, of course, that you have lots of blood inside for the oxygen, and also to relax the fingers. So this is both is important, that you have the muscles for stretching the fingers and to have the power, but at the same time they should be relaxed. So this is always maybe, as you know, if you play any instrument, especially drums, it's not only about strength, it's also about the movement, that the movement is relaxed, and the stroke is in the right place. Now we can take the drum, and yes, what I use is split hand technique. So this is also very common among frame drummers in general. So this is also something that I use for warm up. So for one hand, I can use it here, 2 3 2 3 2 3, or 1. Also here is important that I don't go in that position, right? So it's really open your breast. Also you can put the drum more in the center if you practice the split hand, so that you don't have to go too much in that direction. I do is my focus sometimes is more in the front of the fingers, so more the fingertips, right? Then I go more to the center here, right? Also the sound is changing, and then it's here more. Right, so I try to make more that movement. But this is only for my warm-up, for my practicing, right? So this is not a regular split hand technique, but of course you can achieve a different sound. If you focus more in this direction, in this region of your hand. So the sound is more closer, but of course it's a little weaker, because here you have more strength. And in the front, you can see it's more the fingers, right? So you can change this different regions of your hand. And the main idea is, of course, to warm up here to the wrist, right? You can see it. change tempi, of course, choose your own tempo. And also what I do is working in freehand style. I think I already showed you last meetings maybe. So it's with two hands, but I will just repeat it very shortly, right? So it is with two hands. So it's 2 2 3 3 2 2 3 3 2 2 3 3 2. Also here, take care, not this. Oh. So here in that way, both hands get warm. Yes. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can write in the chat. And so I also use a lot of time the doom with the left hand. So this is normally the doom is played with the right, but I use very often the this position here. Right. So in that way I can achieve two dooms, like a double bass. So this exercise is for me to get relaxed, to focus on both sounds, to create the same sound. And so here you can see the position is here. It's the same position, right? In the same circle here. And to hand, shift my accent to the left hand, right, to train this movement. So because for me the sound is very important when I play drums, so I have to control my fingers, my muscles to achieve the sound that I really would like to produce. And the frame drums are very sensitive instruments, so they react very fastly. So one wrong movement and you have already a sound, a different tack or different doom. So it's very important that you focus on a certain sound, and your fingers should get used on this point, and then you can do dynamics like we did now, crescendo, decrescendo, and stay in the same position. Yeah, and also the different doom sounds for me is important. So it's also something that I practice for my warm up. So the doom sound with a thumb. So also here, try to focus on your body, the hands, they move themselves. Don't focus on your hands, focus on everything, on the room. And so leave the hands alone if it's possible. And another doom I do is like the doom with the index finger. Can hear this doom is a little bit higher. And the middle finger doom is very around, so you can use these three sounds for your warming up. And also the change from tack to doom. So try to play different tacks. So we have here the high tack, little low tack, and then this high doom. Then you can start to make accents with the left hand. So here I change between the accent with the left hand and change to the weak ghost notes. So that's also something that I use to play like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, the same pattern. And so the fingers learn the positions of the sounds, of the tones. It's like when you learn piano, you need to play the right note, or the note that you want to play. I mean, every note is right, but so it's the same here. So if you have something in mind, you want the high tack, So you should be able to play without looking on the drum. It's the same when you play piano. You do certain movements, your fingers understand, okay, I have to open my hand like this or like this. It's the same here. And so it's good if you repeat it, just repeat. And so in the repetition, of course, that I do is something using my left hand that is a little bit more interesting for the whole exercise. So not only this changing of the two notes. Right, so we have little time now. I wanted to speak about the pas, because also here I have different options in the center. So it's totally in the center. Also here, the sensitivity of the fingers is important. So how much do I press on the drum? How relaxed I'm here? How relaxed is my arm? And where is the movement? So everything is about relaxation, but catching the right sound, right? So how long should my hands stay on the drum? Or is it just maybe like a kind of open sound, or half open, half muffle? So it's also here about finger controlling, sensitivity of fingers. Here we have a different sound than here, right? So when I want to play a little bit open pas, I play here for sure. And here I go with the left hand more inside the drum so that I have a similar sound. You can hear maybe there's two sounds. So here it's just a short touch on the skin, so I'm not pressing a lot. So if I press more, I achieve a different sound. What I do also when I practice, I switch between two styles or two sounds. So here, for example, the contrast is very important. The contrast also to listen, because you also have to train your ear when you practice. It's not only about fingers, muscles, timing. It's also about the sound, because your ear, if your ear understands the sound, so your ear gives your ear gives the how do you say, the order to produce this sound, right? So your brain is in contact with your ear, and then it goes to the hand, because the hand knows what to do. So that's circulation. So nothing is alone. So your ear is connected with brain is connected with your movements with fingers, with the skin and everything. And this is something you can also train. Like I do open. it's not a complicated exercise. It's quite simple, but it's good if you're, as I said, repeat it. And the contrast between the pa inside and the pa here, it's papake, 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 papake. So in the center we have more muffled sound. Also, this is something that you could play 2 minutes, 3 minutes. You can use your metronome, and you can also count the numbers, the bars that you play. Also a very good exercise, and you will be surprised how many bars you played after 2 minutes or something. And also it's a good training, counting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At the beginning it's simple, but after 252, wow. Yes, I think these are small ideas. Also, there are many more things. I think the important thing, maybe for me, I can say, is the repetition of exercises, concentration on the sound, concentration on fingers, concentration at the same time when I play, to concentrate on my body, especially here, as I said, because the problem is very often that we go in that way. So also this is something you can train to sit more open here, open your arms, and the balance is very important. And of course, we can also do some snap exercises, but yes, for today, I think it's enough. And if you have any questions, we have 1-2 minutes. No question. Very good. So thank you. And so next time I will talk a little bit about more the upright position, how to relax the left hand, the balance between right and left hand for the strokes, for the split hand, the change from different position, from different styles, be in contact with the frame and to play in a free way. So that will be the topic of the next time. Okay, so we will continue in 3 minutes with a maker from Italy, instrument maker. And I have to read, I'm not sure if I am correct with my Italian, Biagio, right? So, and Lorenzo Panico. See you. Hello.
Good evening.
Good
Hi.
evening. Hello.
Hi, Murat. Hi, everyone.
Nice
Good
to
evening.
see you. But I don't see you at the moment, but nice to hear you.
I'm just enabling my video. Okay.
Yes. Hi. Welcome. Buonasera.
Buonasera. Good evening.
Good evening. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Wow.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Very well. Thank you. Very well.
Oh.
How are you? How are you doing?
Also fine. I'm here in my studio. You know, this is the room where we make our frame drum channel every month, and
Yeah, I've seen.
so very happy that you could come this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you for inviting us.
And yeah, so where are you exactly in Italy?
Yes, we live in South Italy, in Puglia, which is a southeastern region of Puglia, and more specifically in a sub-region called Salento.
Salento.
It's just like Italy's like boot-shaped, and we live in the hill almost.
Oh yes. I know the name Salento. I mean, it's very famous. And
Yeah.
also, my friend Andrea, he told me this is one of the best places in Italy.
Yeah, I mean, both for music and for summer vacations, it's a really nice place. Really
Yes,
beautiful place.
So you are very lucky.
Thank you very much.
And yes, so maybe you are two persons. You would like to
Yes.
introduce yourself,
Thank you
or
very much. Yes,
Yes.
of course. We are Biagio and Lorenzo Panico.
Ciao, Murat.
We are father and son. My father doesn't speak English, so maybe at some point, if it's okay, I can translate after him talking or something. And we live in South Italy, as we were saying, and we are frame drum makers since 25 years, almost right now. And we live in a small, tiny place called Torre Paduli, which is very famous in South Italy for traditional frame drum music by night, like popular music, traditional folk music. And we started making drums from that. And now we work together since 1 year and a half, 2 years. I'm working with my father in the workshop.
Wow, so you learned from your father.
I am learning.
You are, wow, that's
He's the
beautiful.
maestro, and I am learning at the moment. Yes.
Nice, beautiful. But how old are you? I mean,
I am 28 at the moment. I just finished university a couple of years ago, and I decided to come back here and carry on with my father, who is 59, almost 59.
Wow.
I am
So-
apprehending this beautiful job, art, and pleasure of building instruments.
Yeah. So when your father started, you were like 3 years old.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like
Like 3-4 years old, and he carried on making mostly traditional frame drums, which we call tamburredru in our region, which is made for popular music. And he has done that for a lot of time. And at some point we managed to make something else as well.
Yes. So maybe we can start a little bit from the history. I mean, we have not so much time, but it's for me, it's so interesting how someone starts building drums, and after 25 years, it's a long time, and it's a
it is
big profession. So maybe you can explain a little bit how everything started.
If it's okay for you, I will translate for him, and maybe he can tell you and I can translate for you, so
Perfect.
that we can both participate to it. Dice praticamente vuole sapere come hai iniziato a lavorare, e visto che lo fai da 25 anni, che comunque appunto è un lavoro che dura da tanto, come si comincia a costruire tamburi, perché è molto interessato a questa cosa qui, insomma.
Buonasera, intanto è un piacere parlare con lei, perché comunque l'ho sempre sentito, ho ascoltato qualcosa, quindi è un piacere, già un'emozione parlare con lei.
He says that it's a pleasure for him to be here to meet you, Murat, because he have heard a lot of you about your playing style and everything you do about with the Academy and Tamburi Mundi and everything. So it's a pleasure for him to be here tonight with you, even if it is virtual and not like real.
La storia inizia per caso. Io non mi sono mai occupato di strumenti musicali, non sapevo nulla del tamburo. Venendo a vivere a Quattro Repaduli, in questa magica festa, ho visto che si suonavano i tamburi, il tambureddu, specifichiamo, e quindi di là è partita la spinta per fare qualcosa,
Okay.
insomma.
So he is not from this specific city where we live. He married my mother, which is from here, and he arrived here without knowing anything about how to build an instrument and the frame drums in particular. But here, as I was telling you, there is a big event on the 15th of August, which is a popular event in which all the night from midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning, we play frame drums all night here. And he discovered this world here, even if he lived like 15 kilometers from here, and liked it very much, that he wanted, this was the event that brought him to want to build instruments for this kind of music.
E poi ho cominciato a chiedere chi costruiva questi strumenti, questi tambureddi. Ho chiesto alla mia compagna Ada chi li faceva per questa festa a Torre Paduli. Mi ha accompagnato da un signore anziano, abbiamo chiesto, e quindi per quella festa, questa grandissima festa con migliaia di persone, mi ha preparato 30 tamburi per quella festa.
So what happens is that he asked his wife to who could build these drums, because there were some ancient instrument makers that made traditional frame drums, and he asked my mother, actually, who could realize these instruments, and he met this guy who is not alive anymore, and who made the first frame drums for him to sell at the beginning. But then after some years, he realized that he wanted to build himself new instruments, and somehow this old man taught him how to build frame drums, and at some point he started doing by himself, making some new style drums and everything, starting from that point.
Poi dopo 4-5 anni che io vendevo questi strumenti a questo signore, ho deciso di cominciare a farli da me, questi tamburi.
Sì, l'ho detto già.
E poi sono andato avanti negli anni a ricercare, insomma, di migliorare, di fare sempre tamburi migliori possibili, sempre rimanendo nella tradizione fino a qualche anno fa, insomma. Ecco.
So at that point, he started modifying somehow, or ameliorating, we can say, these traditional drums, which, being popular, were not so like focused on balance, aesthetic, or some aspects that could make traditional instruments a little bit better, and decided to transform it and make traditional drums for many years. Actually, we started to make non-traditional drums like 4 or 5 years ago or something. So for a long period of time, we have worked with traditional materials to do traditional frame drums from South Italy.
E questo è andato avanti fin tanto non abbiamo conosciuto Andrea, insomma. Ecco, magari lui ti spiegherà meglio, Lorenzo, come è andata la storia con Andrea, che ha dato una grande svolta al nostro lavoro, insomma.
And then he said Andrea Piccioni came, we met with Andrea Piccioni, and at that point we started thinking and realizing some new drums. We were already working on different materials like olive wood, some particular wood that we tried to bend by ourselves. But when we met Andrea, he gave us some kind of stimulus to realize tunable instruments with different skin, different materials, and that's when we started crafting tunable instruments, tunable frame drums as well.
Nice. Maybe we can make a short break here. We can talk, but maybe we can have a look on one instrument that you built. It's the tunable tar Urania.
Yes.
Yes.
I can show you.
Yes.
This is one of the first instruments we have made with Andrea. These are 14 inches, 35 centimeters drum, entirely made in olive wood, which is a wood that grows here. And we started to try to bend this kind of wood. And at some point, even if it is a really hard work, we could make it. And at some point, Andrea said, okay, let's make a tar together. And we make this one, which is designed for upright style, because it's like 6.5 centimeters deep, and it has a system of mechanical tuning with screws here, and it mounts a particular skin which we buy in Italy here, and that allows us to take the best out of this drum.
Yeah, maybe we can have a look on a short video of Andrea.
It would be nice.
We can listen to it.
Yes. Very nice.
Nice, nice.
Grazie.
Yeah, so it's you can bend the drum also, the sound.
Yes, it is like it is a kind of skin that is at the same time kind of hard, because it has this like dry tones, but at the same time it's very good for bending because it has a particular handle. We have designed with there this kind of handle here that allows you to have like the thumb here and bend the skin very easily while playing in upright. And that's it. Olive wood takes like a very deep sound out of drum head. If you make like with mahogany or walnuts or something else, it's like less deep than the sound that you can have with the same instrument but make with olive wood, because you really dense, really hard wood.
Yeah, yeah, and it's so for you it's a difference using olive wood, but it's also harder to work with it, or?
Well, it is, because it is like difficult to find, first of all, because it is difficult to find like bridges of, we call bridge of wood, like long enough to build drums of 14 centimeters in diameter, because it is a wood that usually makes a lot of holes inside. Like at some point, some parts of the wood start like deteriorating, and it's difficult to find out while the plant is alive. So it is difficult to find a long piece of wood to bend to realize the drum. And then bending is another challenge, because half of them almost break during the bending, because it's really nervy wood. And at the moment of bending, some of them will not resist the bending process. So for every drum that we can realize, there is also the double of the material that has gone like lost.
Okay.
But
Wow.
it's beautiful to work with it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so do you have olive trees in your garden, or?
Not in our garden, but all around here. Imagine that here we have something like 60 million of olive trees, and it is almost the only type of tree we have, except for forests, which is another part. But for farming, we almost only have olive trees here that are dying, however, because of illness that arrived some years ago, which make, unfortunately, wood easier to find, but at the cost of losing almost all the trees we have here. So it's a sad story. inside a nice story.
Okay, yes, sometimes
Yeah.
the reality has two sides. Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. But is it a tradition in this area to build drums with olive wood, or was it traditional?
No, it's not, because olive wood, it's like an important wood and we make oil out of it. So almost nobody cut the trees to make instruments or whatever. We used beech wood. Beech wood is the traditional wood that is used to make frame drums in South Italy because it's light and you can have big drums in diameter with a lightweight, which is, I think that if you play for all the night, like 5, 6, 7 hours, which was before playing on stage, but just in squares, like with people, like in traditional fests, it was important to have big drums, but lightweight. And so it was used that one because it's also easier, very easy to bend. We started crafting drums with olive wood because we saw that it could be very nice for the quality of the instrument. And it is like, it has been a challenge at the beginning, but at this moment we are happy that we can have a production with it. It has cost a lot of efforts, a lot of trials and everything, but at some point we managed to do it.
Yeah. That's quite unique. Also, beautiful sound, your drums. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
And we can maybe listen to a second. It's the tamburello, because you also have a tamburello called Thalia.
Thalia, yes. Would you like to see it before? Or do you want
yes,
to make
you can show and explain a little bit. Yes.
Yes, this is the first instrument we have realized with Andrea, because we met Andrea at some point thanks to a student of his, which is our friend, and he showed Andrea the first drums in olive wood we were making. And at some point he came here, we met, and he said, okay, let's realize a traditional tamburello, but in olive wood, and let's say what we can do. And this is the outcome. It is non-tunable. It is just like a traditional drum, but in olive wood. And it has, of course, all the design that comes from Andrea's experience as a player, as a musician. And indeed, it has 4 jingles instead of a single couple here, because he wanted to limit, for example, the movement and the harmonics of the metal. And this was the first one we realized. It is a 30 centimeter in diameter and 8 centimeters here. And you can see we have the handle, like the traditional handle you usually have in South Italy. Yes.
Yeah, nice. So let's listen to some music of Andrea.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a nice sound. Also the jingles, right, as you explained.
Yeah, it's like very beautiful.
And so the jingles, you're hammering yourself.
Yeah.
Or with your father, I mean.
Yeah, together. We almost do exchange a lot in the process. So sometimes he does jingles, I do, or vice versa with other parts of the building or the instruments. But yeah, it's like one of the parts of realizing Andrea's instruments on which we are working a lot, because we are looking for materials, diameters, ways of hammering, if barding or not the metal, and how much space to leave for the jingles to float inside its case and everything. So it's like a long process which we are carrying on in experimenting with him.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
He will show some really interesting news later, because we have realized 3 new instruments that we haven't finished at the moment of chatting with you via email. So we will show you some new muses, because we call them muses. It's a project which is inspired from Greek muses, and it will show you some new instruments we hadn't ready at the moment of organizing this event, which will be really, really nice, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm curious. And so maybe one question that is nothing to do maybe with this instrument, but for me it would be interesting. What was the most challenging work for your father in this 25 years? So what? Yeah, maybe you can ask him.
Dice, qual è stata la parte più difficile del tuo lavoro per te in questi 25 anni?
La parte più difficile è stato all'inizio, quando è incominciato questo fermento del movimento intorno alla pizzica, crederci. E quindi là ci abbiamo messo, io con gli strumenti, altri con la musica, ci abbiamo creduto in questo progetto, che comunque non è stato facile.
So he said that the most difficult part was not a crafting part, but the beginning, the choice to leave what you were doing to start making instruments. Because we were living in a period in the 1990s in which it was not so easy to start making instruments and living out with it. So it was like, okay, I will bet on this. Maybe it will pay in 4 or 5 years, I don't know, but I really want to do this, and I will try with all myself to do this. It was the moment of knowing that you didn't know how it would go in the future, more than realizing drums with new materials or the challenges that new musicians can pose you by asking particular drums and everything.
Very interesting. Yeah. And he made a good decision, I think.
Hai preso un'ottima decisione.
Sì, è stata difficile, è vero, è stato difficile perché poi abbiamo passato dei momenti con la mia compagna non troppo facili così per le scelte di lavoro, e quindi però sì, adesso sono contento.
So he says that he's happy now, even if at the beginning was hard for many reasons, but now he's sure that he has made the right choice.
Yeah. And how is it for your father that also his son discovered now the drums building together? Did he think of it, or was it like, oh, it would be so nice when my son could join us, or was it a surprise for him?
I can answer that directly.
You can answer.
And for many years I've worked with him just in summer, sometimes when there was the moment of selling drums, for example, here in summer, but I didn't want to make this job. I wanted to do something else. I went to university, of course, and I'm really happy with that. But at some point I realized that I wanted to come back here and to learn from him his job, but it was something that he was not like hoping for. I mean, he hoped for it, but he knew that I didn't want to. And then when I said, okay, Dad, look, I finished university, but after that I want to come there and start working with you because I want to learn from you, and can your job for my life. It was a big surprise for him and great joy, of course.
Yes, nice. I can imagine that he was also happy for sure.
Yeah, because he didn't know. He even didn't know who to leave his job after retiring. When he will retire, at that moment he didn't know. But it was a pity for him. He wanted to find someone to carry on his job. And at that point, I was not ready. But when I have become ready, he was very happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you. Ci fai i complimenti.
Grazie.
And so maybe we can, we have little time still, we can watch the tunable tamburello called Calliope.
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 Calliope. It's another one. All the names can sound maybe a little bit strange because all of them are the names of the Greek muses. If you check on search on Wikipedia Greek music, you will find all these names. And since in Greece Hollywood was really important, we decided to take this Mediterranean approach to our series. So that's why all the names are particular. But this is it. It is somehow similar to the Thalia you have seen before, but it has some important differences. Jingles are, first of all, in brass, but you can change them with any pair, any group of jingles you want. And it is 30 centimeters in diameter and 8 centimeters in height of the shell of the frame. And it has a tuning system with screws, which is the one that Andrea likes the most. And we have realized it as an evolution of the traditional one, which was Thalia. And it has a different sound because there's a double shell, it's thicker in the wood part, and the tuning system, of course, can take the best out of it, even if the skin, the drum head is almost the same. Of course, it's entirely made in olive wood as well.
Yeah. Nice, nice. Okay, also here we have an example from Andrea also.
Very nice.
Yes, and we can also, there is another possibility with a different technique.
Yes, of course. Italian
Yes.
style.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah. And so that we have now, the first was the Urania,
Yes.
the Thalia and
Thalia,
Calliope.
Calliope. This one, just to show you, is the last, one of the last instruments we have made. It is a solo tamburello, which we call tersicore, which is another muse, and it is made for its modern approaches. It is really small and easy to handle. This 25 centimeters, only 4.5 centimeters in the shell, and it has like a really little space for movement of jingles that allow you to take the best out of the rhythms without any harmonic from the jingles, which is a really interesting approach. And I think Andrea will show it to you tonight.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
And so, if people are interested in these instruments, if they want to know more, because I think we can talk much longer, but so you have a website, I think.
Yes, we have
Yeah.
biagiopanico.it, which is
Yes.
our website.
And
But
we put it everything in the chat, so
wow.
you can
Thank you very much.
follow the website and watch everything. And yeah, so anything you want to let us know, anything special, if you have
Just that we
something.
are happy to be here with you tonight because we have heard a lot about you and all that you guys do there in Freiburg and everything in Germany with your academy. It's beautiful and we're really happy. We want to thank Andrea, of course, as well for working for us and for giving us this occasion. And it was a pleasure to be here with you tonight. Really, really pleasure for us.
Thank you very much. Also for us, it because I saw a lot of small videos in Facebook also, and Andrea told me also many things about your instruments, and so it was a good occasion. And thank you for your time to join our channel. And also, if you want to say hello to Andrea, he's just coming in. And yeah, so you will
I hope we can see maybe in Freiburg when
yes,
everything will be back to normality. It will be nice. We will probably come when it is possible. It will be nice to meet all you guys. It will be very beautiful.
Yes, we are working on it. So it's some things are not in our hands.
No, I know, but if it's not this year, maybe next year, whatever. But we are looking forward to meet all of you.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Also, we are looking forward to see you here. Buonasera, Andrea.
Ciao, Andrea.
Can you hear us? Ah.
Ciao, Andrea.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
ciao Lorenzo, ciao Biagio.
Ciao Andrea.
Hey, how are you?
Very good, very good. We just chatted a little with Murat and all the friends that were live here with us about all the drums you are making with you. It was beautiful. We saw some video.
I saw. So I don't have to do anything else. So you can just finish here.
No, it was just the starting. You know,
can show them how live.
Yeah. So we will continue now with Andrea and his compositions, and also later we will talk a little bit more about the work of Andrea. But now we say thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Ciao,
thank you for everything.
Murat.
Have a good night.
Lore.
Good night.
Ciao,
Ciao, Andrea.
ciao.
Ciao, Andrea. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
So, Andrea, I think we can continue.
Murat. Yes.
Yes.
Nice
to see you.
Yes. Online. It's enough to see us online. I mean,
yes.
We need to see each other.
Yes, for sure. Yes, and so you were I don't know how many times you came to Tamburi Mundi, to Freiburg. And
maybe too much.
Too much. But it's time. We miss you, so it's time to come again. But also online, you came several times. Yes. I think to our talks, we had some topics with some discussions. Let me say, and it was very interesting to share your ideas and also the different in these different periods. Let me say. And so tonight we are again happy to see you here. And so the first part is about composition. This is the topic that we have. And so this is something you can present for us. And after the composition, we will talk a little bit about your, as we said, music, about surprises, maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Thank you.
So let me take my drum. Okay, so the topic for tonight will be one composition that I wrote several years ago, and I wrote because at that time we have a duo with Carlo Rizzo, that is a wonderful player and enormous tamburello master, and we met each others, and in a certain point we decide to try to bring our stuff together, and I wrote this composition for our duo that was just started. And then this composition goes away from me, and I played with many different players and great friends. Like I played with Zor Fresco. We have several versions online, and I love that so much. And I play with Abos Kosimov, where we was in tour in China. Completely different feeling with Doira. And in the Masses of Rain Drums, the first CD that we did together, also with my brother Murat, I have this duo version with Glenn Velez on Rick. But actually, I developed also a solo version for this composition, and I will show you the first part of this composition. I think should be the score also somewhere. And maybe I'm allowed to share with you. So I'm checking for the composition, and it's here. Yes. So the name is Conversazione per due tamburelli, but in this case is for one tamburello. But I can find the composition. So now I change the view so you can see better what I'm playing. So basically the beginning of the composition is ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-tum-pa, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-tum-pa, ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. I think that the Tamburi Mundi crew will share with you the score after, but I will just to show you now how to play this. So basically I use the typical triplets that we use in Italian music. So basically what I'm doing for this is 1, 2, 3. So the first stroke is in this part of the hand, in the soft part of the hand. And then I cross from this point and I go to the wrist, not to the fingers. So the idea is keep the fingers completely relaxed. So when you do this movement, it's like if you hold something in your hand, for example, a ball. If you hold a ball and you just turning your wrist, you can go very fast. And this doesn't happen if you work with your fingers. So the idea is move all the effort on the wrist and not in the fingers. So just hold something in your hand and shake. And this is the basic movement. It's very easy. So 1, 2, 3. The 3 strokes goes exactly down to these jingles that are exactly in the middle of these 2 jingles. So this is the jingles area, and this point is the point where I play the 3 strokes. 1, 2, and 3. So again, the beginning of the compositions, tagita tagita ta tum pa, tagita tagita ta tum pa, tagita tagita pa pa. So let me say another thing about my way of playing this instrument. So actually the thumb and these 3 fingers are as a 2 separate sections. So every strokes that I play with the upper part of my hand, I can play also with the lower part of my hand. So basically we start from the very basics. We have jingle sounds, that is ta and ka. And then we have doom, and doom, as any kind of frame drums, I play with the thumb, and also I play with these two fingers. And then we have pa sound, that is exactly where you see this small black circle. Pa, pa. So again, jingles, doom, pa. So when I'm playing this, I'm doing takita, takita, pa, doom. With these two fingers, I do the doom in the opposite way. So this is the first part. Takita, takita, ta, doom, pa. Takita, takita, ta, doom, pa. Takita, takita, pa, pa. So then the groove is changing, and from these three triplets fill goes in four. So takita takita ta tum pa, takita takita ta tum pa, takita takita ta ta dunk dunk pak dum 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 pak pa. So again. So to play these, basically the idea that works for any other kind of modern groove, let me say, is first of all, keep your drum straight. In this way, you just need to touch the frame in order to activate the jingles. If your drum is in this position, jingles are mute. On this position, they start really fast and precise. And then, of course, I use the double doom. So doom, doom, pa, doom, 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 pa, pa. So this is the second part. So the basic idea is keeping this, you know, like the hi-hat of the drum set. So if we think like a small drum set, we have the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare. So with this idea, you can play a lot of drum set groove like this. So the idea is keeping these and just add variations between the upper and the lower part of your hand. So from this part, you have doom, doom, pa, pa. And then dunkata, dunkata, teke pa, teke dum, 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 teke pa, teke pa. So after this, I repeat again the first part with some little bit of dynamics. So the emphasis is in this part. Everything, it will be really clear in the score. So. And then I play again the next part that is very similar to what I played before. So it's a kind of question and answer. So I will just vocalize for you. Is 2, 3, 4. Tagita tagita ta tum pa. Tagita tagita ta tum pa. Tagita tagita ta ta dunk dunk te pa. Dum 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 te pa te pa. Tagita tagita ta dum pa. Tagita tagita ta dum pa. Tagita tagita ta ta dunk dunk te pa. Dum 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 pa pa pa. And this is the ending. change the view for you. Again. Tagita tagita ta tum pa. Tagita tagita ta tum pa. Tagita tagita pa pa. Dunk te ke pa. Dum 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 ke pa ke pa. Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa pa. Dunk te ke pa. Dum 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 pa pa pa. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when I play the less pa pa pa, sometimes I do this kind of acciaccatura. So I use my hand in this way, and I come first with the thumb and then with these 3 fingers. So I have this kind of ta-da, ta-da sounds. That is really interesting. So I will play another time for you. Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa pa dum te pa dum 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 te pa Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa dum pa. Tagita tagita pa pa dum te pa dum 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 pa pa pa. 3, 4. So after this part, we have another interesting section where I use a kind of jingle sounds that you can make in different way, but I will show you how I made, and then I will show you also other options to do this. So basically I have this dum pa, dum pa, dum 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 pa 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 dum dum dum. So this is a same beat. It's an 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dum dum dum. Take it, 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 dum dum dum. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dum dum dum. Take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it, take it. So I repeat this 4 times. So actually it's 4 times for 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dum dum dum. Tick it, 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 dum dum dum. Tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, dum dum dum. Tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, dum dum dum. Tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it, tick it. So it's finished in the upbeat of the 8 beats. So again, to play these, what I'm doing actually is this. Tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. Tiki-ta, 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 tiki-ta. So this is the idea. I just move the fingers and not the wrist. So this is the basic movement. Dum dum dum. Tiki-ta, 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 dum dum dum. you can play also these with the, you know, with a more Rick idea. So just playing the jingles directly with your fingers. So you can have so basically the best way is dum dum dum, tiki-ta, right, left, right, right, left, right. Tiki-ta, 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 tika, dum, dum, dum. Tiki-ta, 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 tika. Of course, the sound is different. There's a different feeling. But also it works. I mean, if you play this with Rick, for example, this is an option. If you play with tamburello, I would suggest you to try this. 1, 2, 3, and. 1, 2. So after this section, we have the final section for this part of the composition, but is not the ending of the composition. The composition is much longer, but I try to keep it shorter because it would be really complicated to do everything in just half an hour. So after these, I switch in the soft position. The soft position is the one that we use for Rick or for tar. But normally what I'm playing on tamburello is more close to Rick idea. So when I play tack, normally I stop the sound of the skin in order to have more high and with less overtone tack. Really precise. And then I have this very low doom. So we have again the last section is doom, doom, doom. Sorry, doom, doom, doom. Last time. So it's ta ta doom, ta doom, pa doom, pa doom, pa doom, do doom. So I use this kind of triplets that is 1, 2, 3, and tack. Normally I do tack sound with this finger because it sounds more interesting for me. Also because the articulation of the hand allow me to have a very clear and strong sound. And this is in the soft position. And this is the question. And the answer is exactly the same, but in the open position. So I will play the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The same phrase in soft and open position with the same technique. Ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-dum, ta-ta-ta, ta-ta-dum, pa-dum, 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 do-dum, ta-ta-pa, ta-ta-dum, ta-ta-pa, ta-ta-dum, pa-dum, 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 do-dum. So then we go to the last part. of this first part of the composition that is a groove that I took from Cuban tradition. The name is guaguancó. I really like that. And so basically, if we think that this is the beat, this is in 4/4, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum ta ta dum s dum ta ta dum s dum ta ta dum 1, 2, 3 dum ta ta dum ta ta dum dum ta ta dum dum ta ta dum dum ta ta dum. So I repeat this groove 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So I repeat this 4 times in the cycle of 8. So at the end is 8 times. But you have to feel two, three, dum ta ta dum 1, 2, 3 dum ta ta dum 1, 2, 3 dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum. So this taka taka tak, they are ornaments, but the basic accent is dum ta ta dum s dum ta ta dum s dum ta ta dum s dum ta ta dum ornaments dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum taka 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 dum ta ta dum. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So this is all the sections that I choose for this special appointment with Tamburi Mundi. It's not the entire composition, but there is some, in my feeling, interesting elements for developing this instrument. So let's start again from the top. I will vocalize first and I will play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Taka 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 pa dum pa. Taka 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 pa dum pa. Taka 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 pa pa dum dum. Taka pa taka taka dum dum dum. Taka pa taka pa. Taka 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 pa dum pa. Taka 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 pa dum pa. Taka 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 pa pa dum dum. Taka 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 dum 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 dum. Pa 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 dum dum dum. Taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka dum dum dum. Taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka dum dum dum. Taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka dum dum dum. Taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka ta taka. Taka taka ta taka dum taka 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 dum ta dum ta dum ta dum tu dum. Brada dum brada dum pa dum pa dum pa dum tu dum. Dum ta ta dum taka taka 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 dum ta ta dum. Okay, ready to play? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just to make it very clear for you, I think we still have, I will take another couple of minutes just to repeat very slow with the vocalization and then play it again once very slow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boom pa, pa, dum pa, pa pa, dum dum, ta, dum dum dum, pa, pa, dum pa, dum pa, pa dum dum, pa, dum 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 dum, pa pa, dum dum dum, dum dum dum, One, two, 1, 2, 3, and so I can't hear you, but I see your hands doing this. So thank you very much.
You could not hear me?
No.
Oh. But my microphone is open. Hello, hello. Now, still?
I don't think I am.
Müsste eigentlich gehen. No, but because my mic is open.
Mic is open. Oh, can you hear me? That's good. I don't know why, but I can't hear you.
Hello? Yes, so I made audio test and everything works here.
No, I can see you.
If you want, okay.
Okay, so I'll try to do that. So I go out.
Okay, I think we can solve the problem. Andrea will come back again. Yes, so if you have any questions about the piece of Andrea, by the way, as he said, that piece exists already in different versions. So in YouTube, you can find all different versions. And also, I listened live different versions, and it's nice, duo in trio, and yeah. And, Andrea is coming. Yeah. Buonasera, Andrea. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you.
You can?
No, I can't hear you.
Oh.
I don't know why. Let me try.
Hello. 1, 2, sound check. 1, 2, sound check.
You can hear me.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I don't know.
Huh?
Okay, let me try to do something else. Just 1 second.
Maybe audio settings. Er hört mich ja gar nicht.
Hello, hello.
Hi, hi.
I can't hear anything from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. This is funny, you know. With technology, sometimes it's really frustrating.
Okay, ben çıkıyorum şimdi.
Try to say something. Okay, you go out now.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
No. I don't know. I don't know why. Oh man. I try to do everything. Yeah, I can talk a bit about my work.
So we can hear
It's
you.
great that you can hear me. I can't hear you. Yeah, we can only chat. This is a little bit sad. I can't hear you. But yeah, if you want, I can talk a little bit about my work. Okay.
Yes.
So we need to see each other in person. That's enough.
That's enough.
We had enough of this. But anyway, thank you very much first for inviting Biagio and Lorenzo. They are such lovely people, and we did a very good job together. And also we developed some new instruments that they did not presented yet, and they are a deep shell frame drum. Maybe if you want, I can show you. Is this guy? (16-inch). And we also developed this new castanets in olive wood. So I'm very happy about you know, working with them, and also the possibility to work with olive wood, because for me is related with my personal history. Because maybe you remember, my father, he's a sculptor and painter, and he he did a lot of sculptures and 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 things with the olive wood, and it's something that was really related with my, you know, with my childhood when I was young. I remember I went with my father many times to bring this big piece of olive wood that at home he just sculpting. So I had this wood in my life since I was kid, and also, you know, in Italy we really like olive oil, so we have a strong relation with this tree and with the fruits of this tree. So have a drum with olive tree, it was something that I have dreamed for all my life, and I know that it's difficult to work. So when I met Biagio and Lorenzo, they accept this idea to try to do something with that. And then we discover that it works. And we start slowly to develop some instruments together. And I'm really happy about that, and the sound that this drum's producing, because it's something that's really related with Italian roots. Because the traditional castanets in Italy and bagpipes are all made with, mostly of them, traditional are made with olive wood. Do the particular sound of this wood, do the fiber of this wood, that is really unique. So bring this on drum for me was really kind of changing point. From the rest, what what else I can say? I have a new CD out. Well, actually, I have two CD out in April. Both of them are with a label that is an Italian label that I work with them actually for different projects. And now we have a release with my fellow partner Francesco Loccisano, that is a big master of Italian guitar. So we have a guitar in Italy. Not many people knows, but we have this 10 strings guitar that the name is chitarra battente, that have a very unique sound. And Francesco is the guy that bring this guitar really in the next level. And when we met each other's was a kind of you know, changing point for both of us, because we really push up each other's to get out of our limits. And then slowly we develop our music and our way to think these instruments, and we release this new album that will coming out in yes, this one that will coming out in April by Visage Music. The title is Upgrade, not because we want to upgrade something, but because we upgrade each other's. I mean, the relation between us have built up something that I think it's quite interesting for Italian music. I hope. I really hope that the people, particularly in Italy, but also outside, will join our idea of bring up the traditional music in a kind of contemporary way and languages. And then, yeah, another, yeah, if you want to listen one song, I will be happy about that. Infantinologia, yes, I will do the, you know, I'm now the one-man band show, so I can do your job, Murat. You can go home. I can do everything for myself. So this is the one of the, for us, one of the most important piece in the album, because it's dedicated to one man that was very important for us. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his name is Antonio Infantino, and he was a musician, researcher, and a kind of shaman, and one of the people that most influenced me and Francesco in some ways. So we decided to dedicate it one piece of to him that is really dedicated to trance and to catharsis, and the title is Infantinologia. So the science of Antonio Infantino.
Yes, so we will listen to that piece. Yeah.
Uli!
We make party here with Monica and Uli here. Ah, finally, yes.
Yeah, finally.
Great, too. Now we can start from the beginning.
Yes. Okay.
Yes, beautiful piece. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And so I wrote also already in the chat the question. And because we had sounds at the beginning, right?
Yes, yes. There is a in this CD. I really work a lot. First of all, in the sound of the drum. So trying to make some experiments using different microphones and also putting some materials, different materials on the drums in order to kind to create different sounds for every piece. But most of the time using just, my drums. And sometimes I also did some experiments with electronics. So I use some synthesizers and live electronics, like in this piece, for example, all the beginnings is just live electronics that I did in real time. And in other piece, we have also some short, very short solos, something like 1 minute, but where we experiment stuff. And for example, from my side, I try to work with my drums using electronics, so effects, pedals. And this is really interesting because it's kind of expansion of your sound. So you really can bring your sound in the another kind of dimension using just few things, not so many. But this is really interesting, and we try to combine these two elements in this CD. And well, people will say if it works or not.
Yes, I think that's the atmosphere is important that you create. It's very nice to start with the sound. And I saw also on Facebook that you are working a lot of with experimenting with sounds, with the drum, also with electronic sounds.
Yes, yeah, this is really interesting because I started first of all with Joe Harp because it's really interesting work with electronics with Joe Harp using some soundscapes, some synthesizer. I really like Moog sounds. And then I start to apply this on tamburello mainly, and it's really interesting because it's really another layer that you can add. So you already have 5 or 6 different layers, and this is just another one that you can add on top or on the bottom. And this is interesting because you have to find a way to make interesting first for you and then for other people that listening. And it's really huge field, so there is so many things to explore on that field.
Yeah, can imagine. And so you know each other already since some years, right? I saw you in I don't know, 5 years ago or 4 years ago in Italy. We were on tour, and you played 2 duo pieces, I think. I don't know. I said, "Wow, Andrea, you have to come to Freiburg." And unfortunately, there was the
Yeah.
COVID, and we are still waiting that you come to Freiburg. So
Can't wait.
so the collaboration is already long time ago started.
Yeah. We had also some, during the COVID was not easy, but then we met again because we teach in the same conservatory actually. He's teaching chitarra battente, this beautiful string instrument, in the same conservatory where I joined one year later, and we met again, and we had the opportunity to go on stage together just for fun, and then say, okay, man, this is amazing. We have to continue, and then we developed very fast the music. We played quite a lot, and now the first CD is out, and I'm really happy about that, really.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And people can order the CD directly from you or from the...
Directly from me, directly from Francesco website, directly from the label company that is visagemusic.it. I think you have the link.
We have the links, yes.
Yes, and it will be released in April.
Ah,
So we are really close.
yes, that's great.
So this is the first time. This is the premiere for me, and I'm so happy.
Wow.
Yes, for the first time to share the music in
Yeah.
my second home.
Yes, I think the people also will uh, enjoy the piece. I mean, they enjoyed, I think, because we have also other music. But before we continue, maybe we were talking about the conservatory.
Oh yeah, yes.
Yeah. So
It's
maybe a few words about this.
yeah, it's a great experience for me because it's already 2 years that I work with them, and it's a conservatory Tchaikovsky in Calabria region in Nocera Terinese, close to Catanzaro. It is really the deep south of Italy, where they have one of the most strong, rich, and important tradition of frame drums and of traditional music. And this conservatory was, I mean, they did something really important for us because they realized uh, uh, some courses, some degrees in instruments for the first time. So now in Italy you can have a official degree on chitarra battente, organetto, zampogna, that is the bagpipe, and from the next year also on frame drums, tamburi a cornice, that is frame drums. And this is really changing point for us because for the first time people can have a degree that have the same value of violin or guitar or whatever on frame drums. This is really, I mean, changing point for us. Also, it's a big responsibility because we need to develop the programs and bring materials. We all of us need to create books and methods and things because actually there is not so much material. So please, Murat and all the friends around, it's time to do something.
Yes, yes, yes. And so maybe we listen now to some music, and later we will talk about the other project that is connected
Yeah.
with this idea of a book. Sorry. The
Yes.
next piece is called Ninna Nanna Confletana.
Yeah, Ninna Nanna, it's the Italian name for saying lullaby. So Ninna Nanna, it's a lullaby. Confletana, it's the name of Conflenti. It's a small village in Calabria, in this region where is the conservatory, where I was invited last year to do a solo concert, open air. So I did this solo concert, and around 3 o'clock in the night, when most of people was leave, but still there is some people that play traditional instruments. I record one guy that hold her daughter, 1 year old, very small, and singing a lullaby with the accompaniment of a zampogna from this particularly town. It was really beautiful and unique moment, and I record. And then from these, I develop a composition that also developed together with Francesco. And this is the song that is coming from that experience.
Nice, nice. That was the man who sang was the recording, or?
Yeah, I was recording this guy, and this guy was just holding her daughter, singing for her, because it was open air, and he have this small kid, and he want to bring her to sleep. And another guy was playing zampogna, and it was really spontaneous moment, but so beautiful, and
Yeah,
I'm really grateful for that.
yeah, yeah. Nice, nice. Yes, and yeah, now we can talk maybe about the compositions
Yes.
that you are collecting or you collected already.
Yeah, the idea of these was, in the beginning, I just had my compositions, and I said, okay, these guys from the conservatory need material, so let's collect this stuff and make kind of book for them. I was not thinking to, release a book. It was just kind of collection of material for them. And then I talked with Francesco Magaron and Lorenzo D'Erasmo, that you know very well, and we start to think about, okay, all of us have composition, so let's bring it together and let's create some material. And then we had the idea. I start to think about and say, maybe I can ask to some friends if they are agree to give us some composition in order to collect a kind of collection of composition and create a book for students, but not only for students, for people all around that love frame drums and actually don't have any kind of book. Well, there is some material. I know that Nora Tile, for example, released a couple of very good books. There is other colleagues that already did, but we don't have a extensive work in that field that just cover different styles and approach. So I start to ask to some peoples, and the book is the result of 2 years of work, and there's a collection of pieces written for frame drums in the form of solo, duo, trio, and quartet. In addition to the original works of us, the collection includes works of some of the world's greatest exponents of frame drums, like Murat, for example,
Thank you.
Zor Fresco, Glenn Velez. I just need to read because there is so many. Murat, Zor Fresco, Glenn Velez, Nora Tile, Carlo Rizzo, Misha Metzler, Adel Shamseldin, Mohamed Al-Arabi, Paolo Cimmino, Checco Pallone, Vincenzo Gaiani, myself, Francesco Magarò, and Lorenzo D'Erasmo. So it's a huge collection of
Oh.
material. And the other changing point was when when I asked to all these people, I was really happy and surprised because all these people immediately said, yes, let's do it. It's a good idea. Why not? And all of them sent me their pieces. But at that point, the problem starts to comes out because all of us actually have his own notation. All of us have his own way to think these instruments. And this is so interesting because we are all different and we are like a mosaic. All of us is a kind of small pieces of this beautiful mosaic. And when you see the mosaic from kind of distance, you can see the whole picture. But when you start to look in the detail, it's a disaster because all of us have different way to write stuff. So we start to think, okay, we have to do something. And this is why this work took us 2 years, because we develop a new notation. And the idea was trying to simplify, unify, and make usable at the widest audience possible. So we start to think about different, and start also to examine many different ways of notating from different parts of the world. And at the end, I think we find a kind of good solution. I mean, actually, we are very happy with this notation. And since we develop, I use daily because it's really precise in a certain way, but also it's you know, you can really reduce everything in maybe just 1 or 2 pages, and this is for us is important because mostly of our composition have a lot of you know, subdivisions, permutations, so we need to find a way to write all these things without losing precisions but also saving space, because when we play, if you are playing, you can't turn pages. So also this is a problem that we was thinking of it. Then we developed this notation, and yeah, I really hope that this could be, I mean, kind of stimulation for all of us and also for composers, because you know, when composers approach our instruments, normally they have a very limited idea about the range of the sounds. So normally for them, I mean, in the classical field, particularly in contemporary music field, frame drums is an instrument that can do these, and maybe these, and maybe these, and maybe these. But we have many other things to propose and to offer to composers. So this is why we try to create a kind of notation that hopefully it will be useful for students, professionals, composers, and everyone. So we will see. We will see what you think about.
Yes, I'm curious because, as you said, you also have one of my pieces, right? And so I'm curious how you changed the notation because I didn't see it.
I didn't
Um,
send it to you. Oh, great. So it will be a great surprise.
yes. Oh, Francesco and Lorenzo are also online. They say hello to
Oh,
you.
really? Oh, that's
Yes.
great. Hi, guys.
Yeah. Hmm.
And also this music, this book, it will be released in April. So April will be a very
Oh,
busy month. And the title will be Music for Frame Drums.
yeah.
Very easy.
Very easy. Great, great. Uh-huh. And it will be available also from your shop or
Yes, in
yeah.
my website, in Francesco and Lorenzo website, because we it's under our three names, because we really developed this job together. So I'm very happy to share this book
Yeah.
with them, and also in the label of the in the producer. I think also you have the link, and yeah, I mean, we will try to make available as much as possible, then just to share it and to see what's people thinking about this.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yes, I'm curious. I'm waiting for it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and what else? So you have also you told me you are touring more now in Italy because I know you since many years you are touring around the world and
Yeah,
in Asia, States, in Brazil, I don't know. And then there was a kind of cut with this
yeah,
COVID, and now some things are changing in our lives or already changed,
already changed. Yes,
and maybe this is something interesting for us, how your musical life, your work, or maybe to see also your work, your maybe your visions for the next future, how it changed in these months, in these years, let me say,
yeah.
and where is your point at the moment? Yeah.
Well, you know, I have to say something. The last concert that I did outside of Italy before the lockdown, I know it's a paradox, but it was in Ukraine. I was playing in Ukraine just 1 month before the lockdown, and I was in Mariupol, the city that now is almost destroyed. So for me, it was so painful to see what's happening, because also we have colleagues there and friends, and this is really a catastrophe for all of us. But from the other point of view, I mean, I just talk about my small my small world. Since the lockdowns comes up, and you have to rethink about your life. It was not easy in the beginning. I mean, the first year was really heavy. Sometimes you was just sitting at home, looking in the wall and say, and now, what can I do of my life? What happened to my life? But then I was lucky, because this job with this collaboration with the conservatories comes up and give me a perspective, not so much in terms economical terms, let me say this, but about developing, trying to do something for the next generation, for the students, and try to figure out how to bring these instruments inside the classical field. So it's still going on. I'm still working on that. And since I start to do that, I start to think, okay, maybe I can start to do something more here. I mean, maybe it's time to do that. Maybe people are ready for that. And I met Biagio, and this collaboration with Francesco's comes out. So things are coming, and I'm very happy about that. I still have some collaboration outside, so we have our quartet that maybe one day something will happen. We don't know. I have this collaboration with Benham and Reza Samani, with the Zarbag Ensemble. So actually, this is the two things that I have outside. I have also some small collaboration. I still have my collaboration with the Aga Khan music program. Sometimes we do things together. So actually, everything is like that. You don't really know what's going on. You just have to do the best with what you have. That is not so much, but it's something compared with people that have nothing. So we still are rich, and I'm grateful for that.
Yes, and yeah, our instruments maybe is saving us or gives us the energy, and
Every day of my life.
yeah. So somehow musicians are lucky in that way, because you can take your instrument and discover new things, or do something that you wanted to do the last year. So,
for example, yes, exactly.
Yeah. And now we can maybe listen to one more music. Solstizio il giorno.
Solstizio.
Solstizio.
It means solstice. You know, when the winter goes to springs. Solstizio. This
Solstizio.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. Wow. Full of energy, the new CD, Andrea.
Yeah, this is a composition from Francesco. The other two was we wrote together, and this is his own composition.
Yeah, yeah. Wow. Nice, nice. So this is a new CD that will come out in April.
In April, yes.
And your new book with Francesco and Lorenzo will also
Yeah.
come out in April.
Yes.
So what else will come out in April? I'm sure there is one thing, a
One
third
thing?
thing. I don't know.
I have to think about it. I don't remember now.
You don't remember. Maybe.
Maybe.
Big surprise.
I will send you a SMS
Yes, please, please.
at 3 o'clock in the night. I remember now.
Yes. Yes, Andrea, we could really talk long time,
Yes.
talk about old times because we spent so beautiful moments together.
Yes.
Starting, I don't know where I can start. We were together in Iran, in
Yes.
Isfahan.
So many things.
So crazy stories
In the
we had.
shrine.
In the shrine. It's oh my God. And yes, so we can have a private
We can
talk.
write a book, you know?
Yes, write a book.
About our life.
Yes, that's right.
Wow, what is this?
Oh,
We are in the kitchen.
yeah. This is our new Tamburi Mundi office. When
Very
you come to
nice.
Freiburg in summer.
Perfect.
Yes. Andrea, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It was so
And
nice to be together for a short time, but I'm grateful for that.
yes, also Malika and Uli are here. They say
Yeah.
hello.
Big kiss to them. Ciao. I miss
Oh,
you.
and yes, I hope in summer. So we
I hope
cross
so.
fingers that the situation will be better.
Yes.
Everything.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Good
Okay.
luck to everybody. And
Thank you. Also to you, thank you for joining our channel,
thank you very
and
much.
thank you for supporting us. And so,
Always.
bye
All the
bye.
best. Ciao, ciao.
Good night. Bye bye.
Ciao.